I feel like I'm already behind in making this because it is December 9th and yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna edit this to get it out before the end of 2024. But hello there, my name is Frances and welcome back to whatever the heck this is. This is in no particular order my top 24 pins of 2024. Caveat, these are not pins that came out in 2024. These are pins that I acquired for my collection in 2024. They could be super old, they could be super new, but they are pins that I got in my collection in 2024, I think. There are two that I'm pretty sure I acquired this in 2024. My memory's a little bit fuzzy. Anyway, in no particular order, we have 24 pins to show. This is one of those I think moments because this came out like in January and my brain is going, did this come out in January of this year? This is the awkward moments, Lilo and Stitch. I still have it in the box. Crashing, like when Lilo and Stitch was premiering, Stitch like crashed a whole bunch of Disney like promos. So it's the one of him crashing Beauty and the Beast. I'm pretty sure this came out in the beginning of this year. Also, I thought they were gonna do more with this. They like did one box set, like a framed set, a couple loose pins, and then this one, and like that was it. This felt like this was gonna be a series. That's a box pin, so that's going first. Next we have the third one. In no particular order, this is the Thomas Kinkade D23 mashup pin. So this is going to be the Tinkerbell one. For those of you that don't know, I've done some work with Thomas Kinkade this year. Don't like to get too much of my personal life, but I acquired this to kind of symbolize that. Next, we have the Waldorf and Statler PTD. I'm pretty sure I got this year. This is Ellie of 300. Waldorf and Statler are in my top 5 Muppets consistently, so that's very excited to get this pin and add it to my collection. That's what the back of it looks like. Next up, another Muppet pin. This is Rizzo the Rat. I got this one recently, and I think it holds more meaning than I thought it was going to, because with Muppet Vision 3D closing, I realized that like Bean Bunny and Rizzo the Rat are I'm probably never going to see them again. The Bean Bunny Muppet was last seen in Muppet Christmas Carol, and it hasn't been like seen a lot since because the rumor has it the Muppet is like decaying and falling apart and they haven't like put love and care into it. And Rizzo the Rat hasn't been seen in any Muppet productions since Steve, I believe his last name is Whitmire, left the Muppets in 2016 and we got like the new Kermit voice. I'm pretty sure he exclusively did Rizzo the Rat. I could be wrong, but that's why we haven't seen Rizzo in anything like post 2016. So he's in like Muppets from Space and of course Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppet Vision 3D. He's a very prominent part about the pre-show in Muppet Vision 3D. Well, he says my favorite line in the pre-show of Muppet Vision 3D. So I really like him, and the closure of that attraction makes me sad. Long story short, this is an older Vinylmation pin of Rizzo the Rat. I had to add to my collection this year. This one I traded for. This one is Lilo and Stitch's 15th anniversary. This is DSSH and it is LE of 200. Features Lilo and Stitch on a surfboard. It is pin on pin action. That is what the back looks like. I traded for that at the Figment Guide pin event after the big pin event. Next, RIP this attraction, but for some reason they still made a pin about the original one. This is one of this year's like monthly collections, is the parade pins on both coasts. This one is the Country Bear Jamboree one. If you know anything about me, I have a small Country Bear Jamboree collection, and this has Big Al and, oh good lord, I think this is Tennessee. I might be wrong on who the other one is. I can name all of them, but like the ones in the big 5. No, this is Zeke. Zeke and Zed and Ted and Fred and a bear named Tennessee. Zeke and Zed and Ted and Fred. I think this is Zeke. Sorry. Big Al and Zeke. If it'll ever load. Big Al and Zeke on the parade pins, pin on pin. These are LE of 3000. Those are those. Next up, we have this year's DSSH Halloween pin, or one of them from the collection. This is LE of 400 and this is Stitch. I just got this. These took forever to get shipped out. I got this from someone that does California pickups. Really pretty. Stitch is a vampire. I love that. Next up, not necessarily a new pin, but new to me, Spectro Magic Piece of Disney History. Oh, this shouldn't be Disneyland. This should say Piece of Disney World. I'm confused. I didn't get it on the backer card. Spectro Magic was one of my favorite parades growing up. I can still hear the song. I loved that parade. I'm very, very sad that Disney World doesn't have a nighttime parade. I'm not the biggest fan of the Main Street Electrical Parade. I understand it has its own cult. I was very much of the Spectro Magic cult, so having a piece of the trumpeter is really nice. I have a couple more pieces of this parade, just because it was one of my favorites and I like having it, and I traded for this sometime this year. I want to say it was this summer, and this was LE of 250 or 2500. Next, we just have an open edition Disneyland Paris fin featuring Stitch in front of the Eiffel Tower. If you're new here, I really like Stitch and I really like the Eiffel Tower. I used to have this big thing with France and Paris growing up. I have been there. That obsession still reigns true today, so I usually collect cute Disneyland Paris fins when I'm able to do the pickup from there. Next, Inside Out 2 came out, and I identified with one character in particular, Anxiety. They did not release enough merchandise for said character, but they did release a mystery pin pack in Hong Kong Disneyland, and I was able to get the one pin that I wanted from someone that was like splitting up the sets over there. Here's the Anxiety pin. And there's the back. Again, just open edition from Hong Kong Disneyland. Next, from this year's Food and Wine, we just have a Muppet Labs pin. I don't think I've ever seen anything with Muppet Labs as much as they did this year at Food and Wine. They had shirts, they had mugs, they had a whole bunch of stuff, so I was really happy to see this pin. So it is Bunsen and Beacon, it just says Muppet Labs. It's limited release, it's from this year's Food and Wine. But I just really liked it, and it was nice to add to my Muppet collection. I'm a completist on all new Muppet pins, I think. All the old ones I still need to add to my set. Next, we have from the Disney Studios store, the Walt Disney Studios, the Disney Employee Center, just like an open edition like mystery box pin. We did the tour this year when we were in California, and I was really happy I was able, like Mike agreed to let us stay a day or two in California after our cruise so we can go and do these types of things. So I just, I kept a couple of the pins from the mystery boxes and then traded away the extras. I kept this one just to commemorate that we had done the tour and that I had seen it. So this is a nice shot of the animation building with the sorcerer hat, and it has Mickey, Goofy, and Donald on it. I just thought this was a nice pin to keep to commemorate that experience. Next, I have a Deadpool pin because they make Disney Deadpool pins now. This one is open edition, and it's just Deadpool. I thought Deadpool versus Wolverine was hilarious. I didn't like the first two Deadpool movies, but if you make a whole bunch of Disney jokes ripping on the company, I'm gonna like the movie. They're blowing leaves outside my door again. I hate Mondays and Tuesdays in my house. Can't do anything because they blow leaves. So I added this to my collection and I really liked it. Next, I think this came out this year. This is another one that I'm like blanking on if I remember this. Oh no. This one says Disney 100, which means it came out last year. Oops. We're gonna pretend I got this pin this year because I pulled it and I really liked it. And I thought I got it this year. So technically it's 23 pins I acquired in 2024 and one pin I acquired in 2023. Too long of a YouTube title, so we're still gonna call it my top 24 pins of 2024. It is this Daisy is Miss Marvel. So they did these collab of like Disney characters as like Marvel characters. So like Mickey is Captain America, Minnie is Captain Marvel, and the pin sold like this. And a lot of I think the backpack went to the outlets, but the pin sold really, really instantly. I really liked Miss Marvel as a show. I think it's because like I grew up with a Middle Eastern background, or kind of Middle Eastern adjacent background. So I really liked the little things and the little nuances in there. This one is limited release. Next up, Hollywood Studios celebrated its 35th anniversary this year, and they did a 5-pin set to commemorate it from D23. I am a D23 member, and one of the commemorative pins, there we go, featured Muppet Plaza, or Muppet Avenue, or whatever everyone calls it now because it doesn't have an actual name. And it features Pizza Rizzo and Miss Piggy, and it's Rat Pizza, and RIP this entire area. This is a D23 pin, and it's limited edition of 1,000. And I got it this year for the anniversary, and my ring light is kind of showing in it, so we'll try to get it as best as I can. It's just like a silver pin. get it as best as I can. RIP that area. I'm gonna be so sad when that closes. Okay, last little bit of pins. A good chunk of these are Muppets. I added a lot to my Muppet collection this year. It has like, it's like an overgrown ivy. It just like over all my pin collection. This year they dropped the Muppet Haunted Mansion puzzle character connection pins, and I had to pick one from there, and I decided to pick Waldorf and Statler in the buggy. I have the whole entire puzzle, so I could have picked anything. But this is my favorite scene in that entire short for several reasons. If you're a Muppet fan, it's hilarious because it's Waldorf and Statler just like heckling. If you are a Haunted Mansion fan, the buggy stops and it's the same like overhead announcement. They're like, your Doom buggy is temporarily delayed or paused or whatever. Hilarious on all accounts. I thought that was like the most on the nose thing that they did, and I loved that part. I die laughing every time I see it. So that's why we did the Waldorf and Statler one, but I have all, I believe this is a 12 pin puzzle. It might be a 10 pin puzzle. I have all the pieces. We have another parade pin. Surprisingly, I didn't pull all 3 parade pins. I do have a Figment one, but we did pull the Muppet Vision 3D one because, again, RIP my favorite attraction in Disney World. This is Kermit the Frog in the seat with Fozzie Bear. This one came out, I want to say, later in the year, like October-ish. Like October, November, September, something like that. But this is the parade pin. Again, this is the Walt Disney World one featuring Kermit the Frog and Fozzie for Muppet Vision 3D. Next is the closing pin event, or like the closing gift from the pin event. This says celebrating Disney pins 25 years. This is supposed to like hint at next year's. Usually the closing event, the closing pin has something to do with next year's, and next year is going to be the big 25 years, or yeah, 25 years of pin trading like event. So I liked how this was like the 2000 and Epcot with the big like sign on Spaceship Earth that I remember from my childhood. It has Figment with a pin trading lanyard, but it also has Tapestry of Nations, which I think I only ever saw once as a kid, but for some reason that song, I just like, when I'm falling asleep or I'm just sitting in my car staring off into space, it just like resonates in my brain. And for the longest time I thought that parade, like I had hallucinated the entire thing, because Epcot, all the parks for me growing up had parades, and then as I got older, like just Magic Kingdom got parades. So I don't have a lot of memories of them, and sometimes I feel like I like hallucinated the Hollywood Studios parade or the Animal Kingdom one or the giant ones with puppets in Epcot. So long story short, I really like this because it like hints on, 1, it has Figment on it, 2, it's pin trading related, and then 3, it just hints on things that like I remember in my childhood. And this one was $12.50. A couple more pins. I believe I got this one this year as well, but this was another one that was in a gray area because it says 2023 on it, but I think I bought it at the beginning of this year. This is limited edition of 700 from Disneyland Paris, and it features Constance Hatchaway at Phantom Manor. I've never been to Disneyland Paris or their Haunted Mansion, but their Haunted Mansion features Constance Hatchaway as like the main character, and she's my favorite ghost. Her, Madame Leota, and then Ezra are like my favorites, so I think I would really, really like it. This is the back, it shows you. I like how Disneyland Paris like gives you the number of LE of what it is. So I really like this pin and I got it. Next is the DSSH selfie series that released this summer. It's like characters taking selfies. I got the whole set from my friend who did a pickup for me, so thank you to that friend. I kept 2 of them. I kept the Lizzie McGuire one and the Lilo and Stitch one. These are Elliot 400, and I'm going to show you the Lilo and Stitch one. It's pin on pin action, with the pin on pin being the phone of Stitch and Lilo taking the selfie. And that's what the back looks like. Getting down to the final countdown. I ran the Wine and Dine 5K this year. It's my first Run Disney race since I had foot surgery, and I had to because it was Muppet themed, and as I've shown in previous videos, I think that race healed my soul. That is everything I wanted from a Muppet Run Disney race, and I think we should do more of them. I think they should all be Muppet themed, and I can, in a separate video, I can go through all of the themes I think should be, and we can just talk about that later. But I always try to get at least the metal pin if I run. I got all 3 pins, so we're going to show you the replica metal pin because I always think that these are really cool. So this is the metal that I have. If I had like a little Noemo, actually I do have a Noemo, but we're not going to replicate it. A lot of people do that, but that is what Mr. Swedish Chef looks like. And we're coming down to the last 3 in no particular order. This year the That's not. So this year for Hidden Disney, they released Stitch holiday pins. So it's like Stitch for 4th of July, Stitch for St. Patrick's Day, Stitch for Valentine's Day. And there was Stitch Halloween, and we all know that I love Halloween and I love Stitch. So here is the pin from that set. So that is Stitch with a little Mickey on it because it is the Hidden Disney. And that is what the back of that looks like. And the last two are from the After Dark pin event. We have Stitch in a Doom buggy as a hitchhiking ghost. And this one is LE of 500. I did split this up and ended up trading away Scrump, but I love the glitter element on the Doom buggy and how Stitch is dressed in a top hat, which means he is Ezra, which is one of my favorite ghosts. So, try to get the back there, and it has the After Dark logo. And then people were calling this a Jelly Bean set, but this was just the mystery box that matched the D23 mystery boxes, but this was for the event. These were limited edition. These are limited edition of 2,500. It has the After Dark on the back, and this is the Figment in the Rainbow Tunnel with his sweater. Everyone was calling them the Jelly Beans when we were trading them around. And in no particular order, those were the top pins of 2024 and the one that I think I got in 2023 by accident, because I get a lot of pins in a year, so it's kind of hard to remember. But I'm attempting. I've seen people do these videos and I kind of wanted to try it, so I get a lot of pins. I wanted to share them. I want to do a whole collection video, and that's on my list. We'll see if I get to it and like film it and upload it and edit it and all that jazz before the end of this year. But comment below which of my 24 pins was your favorite. What of my pin collections you want to see. I want to go back to doing like pin collection videos. I haven't done them in a while, and I want to like film my smaller collections, my bigger collections, my big, like my entire collection, all that jazz. Let me know what you want to see down below in 2025. I'm excited to get back into pin content and to be recording YouTube content consistently. I am rambling at this point. It's a 17-minute video, so I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah.